Hello and welcome to the Penno channel. Before we start, if you could like the stream, subscribe if you're new, and also leave a comment during the podcast. We're here today to do the match preview for Aston Villa versus Chelsea in the FA Cup. I'm joined by my bro to go through it. Bro, how you doing? Hope your day's been good. And are you ready for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, bro. To be honest, I'm still gassed from Saturday. I really enjoyed that game. I seen something the other day that we were the first team since like Chelsea in 2011 to score 4 goals in the first half. I didn't even know that on the pod before, which is mad. So yeah, still buzzing off that and hoping we can carry it into tomorrow, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we're looking to do. Good performance. Well, great performance away against Sheffield United, albeit the opposition wasn't great. But we did struggle against them at home. So it was nice to see that we just went full throttle and went at them at Bramall Lane. Where we entertain a side tomorrow who are really in the doldrums at the minute. Before they played us last Friday, they'd previously, beat Middlesbrough in the Cup 6-1. They'd also beat Fulham. But since playing us now, they got absolutely battered at Anfield by Liverpool. And then again on the weekend, Wolves just went straight through them, absolutely battered them, dominated in essence, and won 4-2. So they come into this one not in great shape at all. Whereas, since Chelsea, we've gone on to at least get a victory within that time span. So, yeah, bro, how you feeling?
What's funny is, like, Chelsea fans I know, yeah, they're happy to lose this game. Like, they want Poch gone so bad. Like, they're in that phase we were in with Gerardo. It's just like, we need to start losing games to get this manager out, like, whatever it takes.
What are your thoughts on Poch?
Just firstly, just a weird like place to be in to be a Villa fan, because everything's on our side for this game. With not say informed team, but we're coming off a better result. We're at home, and Chelsea fans are just sick and tired of their manager. So hopefully it can all go to plan. On Poch, I feel tactically with Poch, the game's left him behind.
Yeah,
I think even from the game's changed so much. Even from 2017. When he was in the peak of his power at Spurs, the game's changed so much. I think he's been left behind personally. I think he's more about like mentality and bonding and stuff like that, which is important as a manager than actual like serious tactics. Still don't think he knows his best squad. But what I will say is the way Chelsea have run their blueprint, I think it's impossible for like any manager to do well there, bro. I'll be so honest.
I agree. I think
so many players, younger players, etc. Carry on.
Yeah, I think it puts Graham Potter in good light as well, to be honest. And much better than he was when he was sacked at Chelsea at the time. Because another manager who some may say has more credentials, has managed at a higher level, has done maybe more in the game, has also struggled in the same situation. So I think it puts Graham Potter in good light. I heard something regarding Pochettino and Arteta. Now, is Arteta currently, sorry, we're veering off a bit. Is Arteta currently a glorified Poch in the sense that what Poch achieved with Spurs, and until Arteta wins something, is he in the same caliber, even though Poch had less resources and less, didn't sign anyone for 18 months? I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
But he has won something.
Okay, apart from the FA Cup. But I mean, in terms of his league positions with Arsenal and how well Poch did with Spurs, Champions League final.
A glorified Poch.
Second place. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what that would mean. I think Arteta's a better coach. I think suited towards like the modern game. I think Arteta's a better coach than him. I agree that Arteta has had better resources than that, but I think Arteta's a better manager than Poch. Yeah, 100%. I don't know if I answered the question, but I don't really get the question of it.
No, it's just in terms of, okay, he's only won an FA Cup, and Arteta, he's been there a number of seasons now, whereas Poch at Spurs with very limited resources, got them to within grasp of some big titles, and it was just a case of until Arteta wins one of those, he's even better than Poch was at Spurs at the time. It was just a question to see your thoughts on that at this current stage, because what Arteta's been there, would this be 4.5 seasons now?
Yeah, I hear that.
So it was interesting. I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Just looking at Chelsea, bro, just the way they recruit, even their links with Duran, just epitomise how messed up that club is right now. They have Nicholas Jackson, who's 22, I think, similar profile to Duran, lanky, raw
Yeah.
and needs time to bed in. They have Dujon Sterling that they signed from Leon Bailey's father's academy, Phoenix Stars in Jamaica. They've brought him in, similar profile to Duran, young, inexperienced, raw, but
I've,
super talented. And they still wanted to buy Duran.
bro, I
That's
heard Amando Broya as well. Supposedly, if he plays 10 games, there's an obligation if he doesn't play 10 games, but if he does, there's no obligation at all.
it's like a
So he comes
200K
straight
fee
back.
in it.
Yeah.
I heard the loan fee gets reduced as well. Like if he
Yeah. Yeah.
plays
If he
one or
does.
something.
Yeah. So even if he's on one leg and for Fulham, I'm just going to play him. That's just going to be the case. So yeah, the way they're operating currently, it's not the Roman Abramovich era, is it? It's you could state that Chelsea's only history currently is under Roman Abramovich because prior to that, the few FA Cups here, but they weren't up there in terms of trophies, the amount of trophies we've won. And since he's gone back to mid-table. So
Yeah, I just
it's
think when
interesting.
the first came in, I was actually like vibing with like their ideas and their blueprint and like the type of profiles they were going for, younger resale value and good talented players. But bro, it seems to me like they've become addicted and they've got like a fetish for it now, almost
It
where
does.
to the point where their fans are just like last season were like, no more transfers, man. We're tired, we've had enough. Like we're fatigued from signing players. And no fan base really I can remember has ever been like that. This Chelsea thing, it just feels new. It feels to the point where I really don't think they understand football. Like
Yeah, but
they're on.
and they the whole policy changed quite dramatically, quite quickly. Because remember, they bought in Koulibalis around that time,
Yeah.
players of similar age, and suddenly they just switched the whole operation and the whole way they were going to operate in the space of the summer.
Well,
And then
Koulibaly was signed
fortunately,
as a year, weren't he?
yeah, exactly.
This is
So
insane.
fortunately, they were able to, whatever means they managed to get rid of a number of players over to Saudi Arabia. Edouard Mendy's, Koulibaly, Hakim Ziyech managed to get out. They also managed to offload Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, not to Saudi, but to other Premier League sides, which they did very well too, I think. But if they're not getting European football, albeit through winning a trophy, I can't see them getting it in the league now. I just think there's too many teams. They're going to be in some trouble, don't you think?
Well, if they can't get Champions League soon, I read something the other day saying they were banking on getting top four this season for revenue purposes. Their books are going to be cooked very, very soon. This is why I didn't like the rule where it stopped them from having a lengthy contract because they're taking on that risk further down the line. Don't stop them and say, no, you can only do 5 years rare for the amortization. Let them take on that risk in the future because later down the line, they're going to be fucked. Like, why? I didn't like that rule coming in. You should have let Bowley do what he was doing. But honestly, bro, we're saying all this. What should beat us tomorrow? Though,
No, no,
we're not
it's just.
we're not even
I
saying shit on.
no, it's not. I like discussing Chelsea because they're a rarity. The one of
It's
one.
mad.
Currently,
It's mad.
how things are operating there. So it's interesting to just hear your thoughts regarding that. And yeah, I can even though they've got these players still on contracts, if they require the money, they're going to have to take a hit on a lot of players if they don't get into European football. I can see that happening for sure, and there might be some bargains there that clubs will be looking to go for. Go through some of the comments. Andy says, "Evening, gents. Thanks for joining, Andy." He says, "Never rated Poch, to be fair. Poor at PSG, considering the players he had at his disposal and the money he had." Yeah, I think since Spurs, PSG was poor. It was poor indeed. And he says, "Be honest, how many of their players would we take?"
I'd take a
Yeah, I
lot.
think there's a number. I think there's a number. I think it's the circumstances. I think it's a lot of inexperienced players all playing at one time, and I don't think Poch is doing a good job at all.
Who would you
To be
take?
honest, but I think there's a number of players to take.
I'd take Gusto.
Yeah,
I'd take Malo Gusto at right back in a better system. I'd take Badiashile. I know he's been error prone recently, but I think he's a good defender. I'd take Enzo. I'd take Carney back. You know already. I'd take Carney back, and I'd take like Madueke and Palmer. So I don't know, man. They've got players, man, but
I think they've got the players. I think
young,
they're just a bit too soon. Yeah,
mad.
it is. I think there's a lot of inexperience that have just playing there too soon. Whereas if one or two are at different sides, you'd be seeing a different level of player. But obviously Cole Palmer for sure you take. He's an outstanding player. Michael says, hello all, my daughter's dancing the score production, so we'll catch up later. Have a good show. Thanks for dropping a comment, Michael, and hope it all goes well for your daughter. And yeah, leave a comment after and I'll respond to you definitely for sure. If you've got any thoughts regarding the pod. Andy says Gallagher and Reece James maybe. I don't know about Gallagher, man. I
Thing
don't
is,
know.
I think Gallagher, yeah, he'd actually suit an Emery system. If we
Mm.
don't put him up further up the pitch like Chelsea are doing right now, making him play like in the final third where he's not good enough, Gallagher should just be an 8 that
He's an
runs
8.
around, gets the ball. No, what I'm saying is they're using him in the final third too much. Like I'm seeing
Yeah, I
him
know.
get mocked on Twitter where he's outside the box, and because he doesn't have that ability to beat a man and shoot, like he's not that type of player in my opinion. If
I
Emery
can see
put him in the
Gallagher
correct
working
position,
it with Ange for sure. I feel like he's a
yeah, he'd
Spurs.
work with Ange. I think he'd work with us,
In
bro.
the Spurs
I
system.
think he's not technical ability wise, but in terms of the pressing and getting around the pitch. Imagine Gallagher in a. I know I've just contradicted myself here saying not having him further forward, but if he was in our press in that Tillerman's role, where we press those players, he'd be nuts. Having something like that off the bench or starting or whatever. But
fair. And he says, yeah, you name players, but I'm saying who would you replace in our team with? That's a good point. That is a fair point. And
I think
there's a number of the squad that I think they'd get into our squad for sure. I think there's players in the squad that Chelsea have that I think are better. Yeah, you say Gusto, Matty Cash. Who do you think's better?
I'd have Gusto over Cash.
That's an example. Rachel says, evening everyone. Thanks for joining, Rachel. Yeah, let's actually concentrate on us now. So some bad news and some good news over the last 2 days. Go on, bro. Do you want to delve into it? Your thoughts on the absence of Konza and the return of Pau Torres, which is a big plus.
Yeah, man, it's like yin and yang. Like Villa just can't have so much nice things at once, but then again, the bad things are offset. Yeah, Konza in the Sheffield United game had to be taken off in the 59th minute. Emery at the time said it was precautionary and it wasn't because of injury, it was tactical. But we've later come on to find out that it's his knee. He's seen a knee specialist recently to gauge when he could have come back, and they're saying it could be 3 to 4 weeks. But it's also an injury where he can come back sooner. It's like one of them weird ones where they've got to watch it. But yeah, got in, especially for the way we play. I'd say for the way Emery sets up the team in and out of possession, the two players I would never want to get injured are Konza and Ollie Watkins. Because Konza's injury changes everything in terms of who drops deep to form the third centre back, who starts off on the right. It impacts the attack as well, and certain players that can play, like Bailey might not play now if Cash comes into the lineup. Like these little things that we've seen with Emery and how he'll adjust. So yeah, sure. got it about Konza, but I'm sure he'll be back stronger.
Yeah, it definitely will, and hopefully it's not as long as that. He said 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully it's on the 3-week side, and misses a couple of games and he's back. He's just back stronger than he was before because he's been outstanding this season. On the good side, Pau Torres back in training. Will be on the bench tomorrow, which I think is a good thing. I don't think he should start him tomorrow and have him ready for Manchester United on Sunday. Great to have Pau back, isn't it? And do you think Sunday he automatically comes back in, or do you think Lenglet will get, continue in this position and we'll just ease Pau back into the team?
Yeah, I think the idea will be Pau 10, 20 minutes tomorrow off the bench into starting against United, I'd assume.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll get exactly that, bro. I think he'll get minimal minutes tomorrow. Just see how it is, see how his ankle is in a match environment at a match tempo, and then if he's all good to go, I think he comes in for United for sure. Few more comments here. Weston says, evening everyone up the Villa. Thanks for joining, Weston. And he says, gutted about Konza, to be fair. Yeah, agree. Richard says, fixing a ligament isn't an issue. Getting back to normal training is a problem. That can take ages. Facts. And we've seen that with previous players who get injured, those type of injuries. Injuries which like ligaments, or the example is Grealish with his shin splints and stuff, with the problems with his shins, because you can't measure it. Sometimes when you return to training, you're still having issues, and it can take longer to return. So hopefully, it's more bruising of the ligament area, and it's not actually worse than that. And when Konza does return back to training, he doesn't he doesn't feel the effects of it, and he can come back smoothly. But yeah, it's just poor. It's just so bad timing, man. It's like
Like we're 4-0
because
up,
it looks so innocuous
5-0
at the
up.
time. Yeah, 5-0
Yeah.
up and nothing to really play for at the time. Cons has gone for it because he wants to get a goal. He's, that's the type of player he is, and he's just collided with the post. And initially, obviously, when he's lying down, you anticipate, oh, okay, this looks quite severe. But when he stands up and you see him walking away, and then Emery comes out with the comments saying, he was taken off just because of the situation instead of him actually being injured. And then for that to happen, it's tough. It's tough. And I always remember, seeing players walk off. Do you remember the Van Dijk one, the Pickford challenge? I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
he walked off from that challenge and he had an ACL injury, and he walked off with no assistance or anything down the tunnel, and he was out for how long? 9 months. So yeah, it's it's tough. It is a tough one, but I hope that the rehabilitation and recovery goes well for Ezri, and he's back soon because he's a huge miss. Uh, Weston says, bad news about Konza, just a good job. Lenglet and Carlos have looked good lately. Of course, Powey's back too. Yeah, exactly. Uh, Philly Fly Boxing, thanks for joining. He says, let's hope Ollie stays fit. I'm surprised Konza went this long without an injury the minutes he's played this season up the Villa. Yeah, he's one of the, usually, Ezri and Ollie are the ones that
Bob, I saw on Konza 59 straight Premier League games started.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So good. Yeah. Andy says, correct me if I'm wrong, Konza is the only outfield player not to score this season. Oh, that's a good one. Go on, bro. You got any names for anyone who hasn't scored this season? That's a good question, Andy.
Has
Uh,
Dean scored? Luka Dean.
Yeah, I was thinking Luca Dean as he scored. Was Luca Dean's last goal Man U last year?
Might have scored in conference. I don't know. I don't think Dean scored.
Dean, possibly Dean. Carlos has scored this season, hasn't
Yeah, he scored against Alkmaar.
he? Yeah, well, yeah, good question. Yeah, Luca Dean, I think. Luca Dean. And obviously Konza. So yeah, bro, with that in place, and obviously when, as you said, when Konza hasn't operated as a right back and Matty Cash has come in, it usually changes the dynamics because Kamara then drops into, as a third centre back or into that space that Konza occupies when he's playing right back, and means Matty Cash pushes forward. And the majority of times when that's been the case, it's led to no Bailey on the left and Diaby coming in as a second striker and McGinn moving out to that side, and then either Tillemans or Ramsey playing off the left. So yeah, what are your thoughts with how we'll line up tomorrow? And do you envisage many changes from the weekend?
I think my prediction will be Emery moving Cash into right centre back. Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends if Bailey's ready to start.
Yeah.
And then what would that leave? I'm trying
So
to think
what's
of
your lineup?
how would this look structurally. So my lineup tomorrow will be Martinez, Moreno, Lenglet, Carlos, Cash. I think Ramsey will start.
Yeah.
I think Ramsey might start. I think it might be Ramsey, Louise, Kamara, McGinn, Watkins, Bailey.
Yeah. Yeah, just play Bailey further forward. Or sometimes we've seen McGinn play that second striker role as well, or even potentially Tielemans could play. McGinn stays off the left and Bailey plays on the right side. But Bailey and Cash on that right side, it doesn't. It's rare, isn't it?
I think Luton at home's the only time we've seen it.
Yeah,
Second half,
yeah,
Cash went into right centre back and Bailey was on the wing for a bit. Well, as like a right wing back almost.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously there's multiple options we can play as well. So which is good. We've got a strong squad and there's players that can play different positions as well. But yeah, apart from Cash coming in and potentially a bit of movement with Bailey or someone coming in off the left or Yuri dropping out, etc. You think it's going to be pretty much the same. You can't see any of the centre mids not playing, Timmy Iwabuno
Nah,
coming
nah,
in
nah, nah,
potentially,
nah,
or
nah,
no?
nah. Douglas has had his half as well. I think Kamal will be fine to play. These guys haven't been playing every week, so they've had a rest. It hasn't been that intense, has it really? Friday, Saturday to Wednesday. Like it's not really a lot of games, is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they'll be fresh, ready to go. I know United Sunday as well, but yeah, I think they'll be good to go, bro.
Yeah, interesting. How do you think Chelsea will come? Because obviously now Nkunku's back. That's a player I forgot to say. Tek Nkunku for sure. I think he's a quality player. He's back to fitness now. And do you think they'll go strong, or do you think they'll? Or I imagine there'll be changes from the side we faced at Stamford Bridge because obviously Nkunku's back now. I can see Carney getting minutes. To be honest, I can see Carney coming into the side. A few other changes around the side as well. I don't know if Levi Colwell's back yet. But yeah, do you think there'll be changes from what we faced on that Friday?
Yeah, let me just get up the lineup against us in the cup. So they had Petrovic in goal, the
Yeah, I
Badiashile
think.
left back. Colwell was meant to start, weren't he? But he got
Yeah,
injured
he
in the
got
warm up.
injured. Yeah.
And they played Thiago Silva, Disasi, Gilchrist at right back. I can't see him playing starting again. I doubt that. I don't know. But Caicedo, Enzo, double pivot. Then they had Madueke on the right, Gallagher as a 10, Sterling, Cole Palmer. So yeah, Nkunku probably coming into that side. Who else might they play coming into that side as well? Colwell might get a nod if he is back fit. Chilwell's back as well, so Chilwell might start. I've seen some rumours that Poch might even go to a back three and change the
Oh,
lineup.
Rachel's just shouted that as well. Rumours of Chelsea going to a back three to.
I promise I didn't see that. I weren't trying to steal you.
As soon as you said it, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, interesting if he does. So that will probably mean Chilwell comes in and then they play potentially Chilwell and Gusto as fullbacks.
but I
But
think
then,
tomorrow we're gonna see are these players still behind Poch fighting for him. Hopefully for us, they're not. Hopefully they've given up and they can't be asked because that'll be lovely
that's what you
from
want,
our
isn't it?
perspective. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There'll be some players fighting to still play in that final that they've got coming up, which will be an incentive. So I can't really see that happening.
Yeah. Again, Rachel said they'll go strong as it's their only trophy and one of their routes for Europe. That is a fact for sure. League Cup, obviously they're in the final of that. Is League Cup is that conference? And
Yeah,
then it goes to the league if obviously one of the teams who win it finish in the European places.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they could get conference.
from winning that. But yeah, yeah. So it is interesting. Weston says, and remember the fixture list isn't that bad for quite a few weeks soon, where we only play one game a week for a while, so we have to go strong tomorrow. Yeah, it's an opportunity to go for strong for sure. Facts,
Emery
we
and his
were
presser
able to.
spoke about it.
Yeah. What do you think to his presser?
I
Very
didn't I didn't see all of it.
animated. I've
I
seen
didn't.
parts where he's very very animated, talking about the priorities and how the Premier League's number one, and then as you go on the cup competitions, you see how far you can go in those as well. But he was very animated, Emery. Looked ready to go, man. Sounded pumped.
That Newcastle game got to him, man. I think.
Yeah. I think he's. You could tell by the celebrations at the weekend as
Yeah,
well. He was really into it. He was every goal
he's,
he was giving it. He
he's
was like,
locked
yeah,
in.
yeah.
He's locked in.
He's locked in for sure. He's seen
Morgan
the
Rogers,
business
didn't
element.
speak about him. He can't play, obviously, can he? So that's why we didn't
Yeah,
speak
he's
about
cup
him.
tied.
Move
Yeah,
on. We can move on.
yeah. Has Joe Gauchi joined up with the squad then as of yet? Has he? Do you know if he's come
Nah.
returned? No, is he still? I imagine he'll have some form of leave or holiday after that tournament. And
Yeah.
yeah, that leads on to the Conference League then, bro. So you said to me a bit earlier that there's a squad update
Yeah,
for what we were
so
providing.
the squad had to be put in by February the 4th, I think. John Townley at Birmingham Live was saying on Twitter, something like that. So Tim's made the squad. He wasn't eligible before for some weird reason because he went on loan to QPR. I can't remember the details, but it was just a strange reason that he couldn't be in the B side. But yeah, Tim's been added. Joe Gauchi's been added, and Morgan Rogers.
Okay.
Out comes Dendonka,
Yep.
Bertrand Traore,
Yeah,
And Callum Chambers been a
that's a
miss
big one, isn't it?
from the. By the way, Kesler is part of the B team, so Kesler is registered. He can play.
Okay, so he doesn't count towards that A squad.
No.
That's all good. Their Callan changes. He's actually surplus to requirements then, and obviously, in January they really wanted him out the door, and he didn't want to.
Bro,
So,
well, I've heard this. I've heard the still. I've heard the still want him at the door. Like that turkey window ain't closed yet. Do you get me? Like,
I did. There was a rumor that regarding that, wasn't there? There was, yeah.
like a little Trans Am small or something like that. You never know. Just
But
turkey teams are just taking.
That sounds like he's surplus to requirements. Like full start period is. So it's not even a consideration. Not even.
But I do
He's not
think
in the squad for the Conference League.
I think the deadline was before the game, though. To be honest, so it was before Connor's injury when they had to send it off.
Yeah, but even not being part of it is them considering he was previously part.
Yeah.
He's played in the Conference League for us this year, so to just be dropped out altogether, they had no plans for him whatsoever.
What's next? Sent to the reserves.
Lambert Bobs. Do you remember those days?
Well, I'm surprised they didn't try to send him to Real Union or something, man.
No, that would have been a slap in the face. I can't lie. Anything else you want to discuss, bro? Any other Villa news?
Priorities: Champions League, FA Cup, Conference. Rank them. Yeah, quickly. I think a debate today again. So just quickly, where you'd rank them of what you'd want first.
FA Cup, Champions League is such a toss up. I'll probably just go Champions League, FA Cup, Conference League.
Yeah, I agree.
The order you gave it me.
Yeah, I think FA Cup,
Conference League. It's great to be in Europe again, but from winning the Conference League, it's a great trophy. But I think the FA Cup to me holds more to me than the Conference League. So winning the FA Cup over that for sure, and then Champions League and FA Cup, it's Champions League. I think for the club as a whole, it helps a lot more, but the FA Cup sentimentality and actually seeing us win something is huge as well. So I think
bro, I was going to say, there's a lot of Villa fans. There's a lot of Villa fans, bro, of certain ages that this is the only thing they haven't seen Villa win. They've seen us win the Champions League. They've seen us win the league. Okay, they haven't seen us win the Premier League, but they've seen us win the English First Division, the main division. They've seen us win the League Cup. They haven't seen us win an FA Cup. When was the FA Cup? 57? Was that our last FA Cup win? 57?
Yeah.
Do you want to do the quick maths on how many years that is?
70 minus what? 3, and it? Yeah, 67. Yeah.
Well, 67. 67. It's
a long time, bro. It's a long time.
An FA Cup. Come on, Villa. Like that's why it always annoys me when people just dismiss the Cups. Like, who do you think we are, man? We ain't won nothing. Like I hate the disrespect of FA Cups, bro. Genuinely, because when people say focus on the league, what does that mean? We in the past, and Villa have focused on the league. We've been plopping the league as well. So for me, take the Cup seriously, man.
For sure. And he said Champions League, Conference League, because I think that's a genuine possibility in FA Cup. Yeah, I think that's a good one. In terms of Champions League or Conference League, which one's more of a possibility, in your opinion?
To win?
Well, to qualify for Champions League or to win the Conference League? Which one?
It depends if it becomes Champions League, doesn't it? I'd say.
Okay, top 4, you say Conference League.
That's hard, because
it's tough. Hard. It is tough. It's tough.
How many games left in the Prem? 15.
Yeah, and there's 7. I think there's 7 from now to win the Conference League.
You'd think we'd need what, 11 wins from 15 to fully secure top 4. So it's 11 Premier League wins out of 15 or winning. Yeah, that's hard. What do you think?
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Probably Conference would be, but I'm not. But I don't know. I think they're similar. It depends. It depends what Villa as well. Like, can we go on a little run now and be like the early Villa form? So.
Yeah, for sure. Weston says 57, and it's only. Andy said it's only the FA Cup that I haven't seen us win. Yeah, I'm sure there's many fans in a similar position as Andy. It's the FA Cup that's left, and we've had a few finals over the last decade and a bit. Well, 2000, and obviously the Arsenal one, 2015. We've come
Semi-finals.
close. We've come close. Yeah, we've had semis. Chelsea, I remember that one. So yeah, man, the FA Cup for sure. I want to see us win an FA Cup, man.
And could you imagine us winning it with the 150th anniversary tied the next season?
Bro.
Could you imagine us having that anniversary kit and then we taking pictures with like the cup, or like we're in our anniversary Adidas kit on the trophy?
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting carried away, and we're getting carried away.
Yeah.
Chelsea fans must be listening to this, be like, these guys are.
Let us shine, man. They've had their 2 decades of it. They can.
But yeah, honestly, FA Cup trophy. We've got Emery. Like, come on, let's just maximize.
Serial trophy winner. Yeah. Yeah. Let us know in the comments. What's your of the 3? What's your preference from Champions League, Conference League, and FA Cup in what order? That'd be interesting to see what fans' preferences are. Yeah, bro. Another thing that I don't think we discussed is the new leak of that badge again. Another one this time. I don't think we discussed that last week. Looked like there was more detailing with the line and the line colour change from a gold, from the yellow to a gold. Sorry. Do you think it's been trademarked? Do you think that's it now? That's what's going to be the final decision going forward? Because I did expect an announcement. To be honest, I can't lie. And do you think on that basis, Chris Heck, obviously socials will have so many people looking on socials and other stuff, doing the research, looking at comments, seeing what the interactions are like. Do you reckon that decision was altered due to that?
It does feel like there's been a delay from what he said in that video when the badge was going to be announced, and to where we are now on the 6th of February with no updates from the club or anything. Yeah, like you said, we do know Chris Heck's active on socials, especially Twitter. He'll like a lot of Villa fans' tweets and as well. So he's active there. He's lurking on his account, definitely. So he would have taken in that feedback. I don't know. Would you think that would be affected by that, them taking on tweets on board and stuff? Or are they having problems with like the new badge thing as well, with like that I saw that article that was released? But yeah, it's a bit mad. It feels like something has.
Yeah, it feels a bit delayed, and that could be a reasoning for it. I just thought it was. I've seen it. That new design had been trademarked, and it did feel like it was around that time it was going to be announced, but it does seem delayed, and potentially that is a reason for why. At first, I didn't think that influence would be possible. To be honest, I didn't. I thought what was decided is decided, but maybe it is.
Haven't some Villa fans though been saying they've seen like the kits and that? So surely the badge would already be done.
Yeah.
What my theory is that badge, that latest trademark badge, will be used on a one-off 150th anniversary kit closest to the date we were formed and whatever game that is.
God, this is a sick comment. Soapy Mark, thanks for joining. Soapy, he says, my granddad drove the coach to Wembley, the team coach to Wembley in '57. That's unreal. That's mad. Have I cut out? Can you hear me? Yeah, that's unreal. I bet he told you about that day many a time, mate, for sure. And Weston said, I've always wanted us to win a European trophy, but I do understand the sentiment around the FA Cup. Also, the FA Cup is only a cup I've not seen us win, West. Yeah, that's fair. I think just the Conference League, because it's new. It's been around for 3 seasons. I don't know. Just the sentimentality of the FA Cup and the history behind it. I just value that more right now, to be honest. But yeah. Anything else, bro? Any thoughts regarding?
No, that's it, bro.
Villa? Anything you've heard?
No, that's it, bro.
That's it.
We covered everything.
What are you going for tomorrow then? Prediction?
1-0 Villa.
1-0. I'm gonna go for Villa to win on penalties. I'm gonna go 1-1 in normal time, and Villa to win on penalties.
You're going to be able to hack that in the ground.
Emmy Martinez masterclass.
You're going to be able to hack that in the ground.
Probably not, but you know.
You're going to have to do a Klopp in it. Turn around and start celebrating.
Well, go off the man free, go off the free rows behind us. Reactions, yeah, that will have to be the case. But yeah, I think we'll draw and we'll win on pens. But yeah, also guys, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about the score predictions for tomorrow, and yeah, just let us know your thoughts. That'll be great. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for joining me again, bro, and going through that. It was a good stream. Cheers for the comments. We really appreciate those and your interaction, because it helps us, create conversation as well and answer your questions or your points that you provide. We really take that, and it means a lot to us. If you could like the stream again, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow, so we really appreciate if you could do that, and also leave a comment at the end regarding your thoughts on the game tomorrow or anything else we've discussed within the pod. We've got a prediction in here. Simon's going. Thanks for joining, Simon. He's going 3-0 up the Villa. Good one, lads. Cheers, mate. Yeah. Thanks all up the Villa, and hopefully we're through to the next round of the FA Cup after tomorrow night.